So, welcome to Strategy Sessions. My name is Kamilah Sanders. I am founder and CEO of Greater Than Equal. And within Strategy Sessions, we're talking to entrepreneurs, we're talking to founders, we're talking to organizations to help to give you the resources to make it to the next level in your business. What I found is that a lot of people that are entrepreneurs or founders, or even smaller organizations, they know a lot, but they don't have all the resources that they need to maximize their impact. And so today we are bringing you someone that knows a lot and that I've known for a while, Jason Luntz. Jason, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. How long do you think we've known each other?
Well, I've only been in Nashville since 2013, so it's
Okay.
probably been
Oh,
maybe
10
8
years.
years or something.
Yeah, you have
Maybe
been here a
10
couple of
years. I
years.
mean, I feel like you're one of the first people that I met, so.
If you got here in 13, I got to Clarksville in 07, 08 around then. But I didn't, so I was in Middle Tennessee, but I didn't really start going hard in Nashville till about 12, 13 around that time.
Okay. I don't feel
Yeah,
like I went hard till 2015. So
15. Yeah, this probably man. Okay, got it.
yeah. So was it, wait, can you define going hard in Nashville?
Well, I mean,
What's
yeah,
that?
to where you and I both sit on boards and are part of like major events, and when things are happening in the city, both business wise and socially, we're both the type of people that we probably, if we're not there, we were aware of it.
Yeah.
If we weren't there, we were aware of it. To the point that
Right.
when things happen and I see people on social doing stuff and I didn't know about it, I still get a little mad. Like, hold on, no one, no one's
Hey,
gonna
how did
invite
I not
me.
know about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not get invited?
Yeah, for
Jason,
real.
you can just show up like I do. I just show up.
That's it. Just show up. I'm here now.
Just show up. Okay. So I'm not trying to get off topic, but what made you decide to go hard in Nashville? Like in
I
2013, what made you decide to do that?
I think, well, my first few years, for people that don't know, my background originally was in real estate, and that's what I did, I guess, like the first half of my adult life in Jersey, where I'm from. Shout outs to Jersey. And when the market crashed around that time, during the Bush era, I moved down here. My family had already been here for a while. My parents had actually retired here. So they had been here over a decade. So my brothers were here. They were stationed at Fort Campbell. So I went to Clarksville to try to get my head right and figure out my next move. And, time just started to fly by. And I always had a goal to get back to Jersey, get back to New York City and try to do my thing out there. But I started to notice that Nashville was really growing and it was growing fast. And I caught it even then. I think 2010, 11 is the first time I really noticed, like, yo, this Music City might be the real spot. So I started spending more and more time up here in Nashville. And then I was like, that's it, I'm putting my flag here. Because you don't get many times in your lifetime where you can be on the ground floor of a city becoming one of the hottest cities in America. And
Wow.
I
So
know a
if
lot
you
of,
heard, I was gonna say if you hear that it's true, but don't come here because we got it. No, I'm just playing. I'm
oh,
just
yeah, yeah,
playing.
we got it. I know, look. And I know some people don't like when you say Nashville's one of the hottest cities, but when you live somewhere, it's hard to see. But no, people come to Nashville the same way they go to other cities now. Like, people are like always want to come here, they want to check it out. And people back home where I'm from, people still be hitting me up like, yo, I got to get to Nashville because they hear about it a lot.
Yep, absolutely. So introduce yourself, because you didn't get to do that yet. But how do you introduce yourself? How do you even say, like, how do you compile that into a few sentences?
Well, yeah, normally if we're talking business, I say, my name is Jason Luntz. Look, I'm going to say it like that. My name is Jason Luntz. I'm the owner of Your Voice New Media Agency, and we're an organization that helps brands and nonprofits and businesses grow their online presence through web design, social media, email marketing, things of that nature. We also do some offline stuff like public relations, which we're going to talk about today, media relations. And we also do print, like, if you need your step and repeats and your signs. We do activations for events. So we do a variety of things to help organizations grow through marketing. Me personally, I have a master's degree in journalism, so I am a storyteller, and that's how I see my life. Whether it's hanging out with my friends, I'm always trying to tell a good story, or if I'm working with my clients, storytelling is what I love to do.
Love it. So tell us a story about your journey into entrepreneurship, because I feel like you came out as a baby and you were an entrepreneur. Like, when did it all begin? Because you've always been an entrepreneur.
I know, I'm always one of those people when people are talking about their job and PTOs and time off. I'm like, I've never really had a corporate job. I don't even know what, HR and those kind of things. But I actually did have one quick little corporate job after college. I worked at a call center in management. But uh, yeah, well, what happened was my friends that I went to high school with were actually flipping real estate. And this is before like reality TV was all about flipping houses. This is mid 90s. Excuse me, I'm aging myself. But my friends were into it and they brought me on board, helped me buy my first house. And then I just got really excited. So I started flipping homes, doing property management, things of that nature. And this was like the age of 23. Yeah, I was about 23 years old. So from that point on, I always was working in real estate. When that market crashed and I moved to Clarksville, I started a cleaning company because that's something that was still kind of in that lane of understanding real estate. And I really liked it. So the cleaning company was doing really well. But while I was doing the cleaning company, because I was going through this transition, I started blogging and I started tweeting. And I check this out, Camilla. 2010, I had 30,000 followers on Twitter, and yeah, and this is before we knew what an influencer was.
I
And
don't
I
even
was
think I
just
was thinking about Twitter then.
you wasn't thinking about Twitter then, right? And Facebook was still kind of new. I think we still was on MySpace, and yeah, I just
I
had so
mean,
much
I'm not
fun.
that old, Jason. Don't.
Oh, that's
No,
right. I'm my
I'm just
age,
playing. I heard about
but
that though. No.
you heard about the top five, but I had really was enjoying blogging and stuff. So I decided I was like, yo, how can I do something real with this and make some money with it? So I went to school to become a journalist. My program was called New Media Journalism, and it taught me how to write, but using blogs, using web design, using social media. It was like a whole new concept. And I started writing for the Tennessee Tribune, shout out to Miss Perry for a minute. But because I'm an entrepreneur, like you said, since birth, I was like, yo, how can I really do something extra with this? And I was like, I'm gonna take these same talents and tell business stories, but through this social media and web. So that's a long way to go saying, yeah, it's always been about entrepreneurship. Regardless of what I do, I'm always going to jump into ownership.
Yeah, that's good. So how do you feel? Because I feel like entrepreneurship now is totally different than, whenever you started, which was a while ago, like decades ago. Um, how has entrepreneurship changed, do you think, in the past, like over the decades? Like to me, it's a little bit different now than it was
Yeah,
before.
I would say that one thing has changed is that everybody nowadays wants to be an entrepreneur somehow. Even if they don't want to leave their job, they're going to have a side hustle. And I feel like in the late 90s, early 2000s, it still was rare to meet people that you ran with that had their own business. And a lot of people would try to talk you out of a business back then, too. Like your aunts, your uncles, your parents, they used to be like, you need to go get a job, get you a pension, go work down at the docks or at the GM plant. You know what I'm saying? Which is
Yeah.
nothing wrong with those things because a lot of those people do have those opportunities of benefits and retirement. So I'm not knocking that. But even those people nowadays, they gonna have a side hustle. They selling candles or t-shirts. They doing fish plates on the weekends. Uh, so I think what's changed is that entrepreneurship now is such a big part of our culture, and that's through social media. The rise of Shark Tank that plays a big part, and just us being able to share our story. So when people look at us as entrepreneurs, they envy some of that because they want to be their own boss. And back in the day, people kind of look down on you and be like, man, listen, I'm getting this check each week. I'm good. I think that's the major change. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur now.
Yeah, and I think it's also about, like, you followed what your parents said, get this degree, get it one that makes money, and then get this job and stay there forever, or whatever
Yeah.
you've been, taught, but also you have this thing inside of you that's like you're passionate about something else. So like you said, that's where the side hustle comes in. People are like, I'm baking cakes or I'm doing this or I'm doing that because they want to fuel that passion that they have.
Well, it's even crazy. I was thinking like parents would be like, go become a lawyer. Now I see young people like in their 30s who went to college, went to law school, practiced for like 2 years, and they've left that to start a bakery, for example, or start
Yeah.
something that they were like, I always wanted to do this. This is what I cared about the most. So I think what's also changed is people are able to jump on these things a lot younger than they once were. So, you
Mm,
got 18, 19-year-olds that are going to their parents like, I'm not going to college. I'm not joining the military. Because, I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, it was like
yeah.
military or college or go get a job, like I said, at the factory. You're going to do one of these three. Nowadays, kids are like, oh, I already got 2.5 million people on my Instagram. I make more a month than you do a year, mom. I mean, don't be like that, kids,
Right.
but
Shoot, I'll be fine with that. You can
hey,
help pay
listen,
these bills too.
they'll pay
No.
this bill. If you can pay the bill, yeah, for real.
Go ahead and be a YouTuber. I'm cool with
That's
that.
right.
Okay, so for all these people that either are in entrepreneurship or they're aspiring to be an entrepreneur, do you have any like secret, like top secret tips that you would give people about entrepreneurs, like stuff that people don't tell you that nobody talks about?
Oh,
What are some of
okay.
those?
So the first tip that comes to mind if you want to be an entrepreneur is do not think that your friends, your family, your loved ones have to support you. They do not have to buy your products or services because, first of all, your family and your friends' relationship is not built off of money or your job or your business. So they don't have to. I mean, they can share a tweet or, excuse me, they can post an X, whatever we're calling it. I mean, they can share, comment, like, but if you're selling candles, it's an easy one. If you're selling candles and your cousin doesn't like candles, they might not buy any. That's okay. What you need to focus on is who is your clients, who's your customers. And if you focus on them, you're going to still get love. Your family and friends are going to always cheer for you. That's all they have to do. But if they're not your customer or your client, then do not even spend a moment worried about them.
Right.
And I've realized that over the years, like there's a lot of things that I offer that a lot of people in my life do not need. So I can't get upset with them. And in fact, if they want to use someone else for a website, there may be a reason that they may be a realtor and that web designer only does real estate. It might be a story behind that. So I feel like entrepreneurs, we spend a lot of time mad, upset that our cousins, our best friend isn't supporting us. But that's not their job. They're here in your life to support you with what's going on in your life. Your business is not always what's important to them, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't know how you feel about that tip, but that's something I've been telling people a
I
lot
love
lately.
it. I'm like, they are not your target audience. So stop,
Your
stop
target
going after
audience.
them. Like, it's okay. You don't need their support. There's so many people in this world. Like,
There's so many people. I think that's another tip too, is realizing that your idea, even if it sounds similar to another, you can still do it because there's a reason why sometimes people like they want to come up with something that's never been done. Most things have been done at this point. You can take things and tweak it, but there's a reason why things haven't been done because they didn't work. So it's okay to build off of what you know. Now you want things are proprietary. You don't want to steal other people's recipes, obviously. But for example, look at hot chicken. Prince's started it, but Bolton's came out maybe 10, 15 years later, but they're classic too. And we see all these hot chicken spots. You can grow off of others' ideas, but still make it your own. So don't be afraid because there's 7 billion people on the planet. You can't even conceive that number. You know what I'm saying? You can't even conceive a million. A million people is a lot of people. So there's a lot of customers and clients out there that can be yours.
yeah, I like that one a lot. And you do things in a unique way. Like nobody has your background, nobody has your values, nobody comes from your perspective. So no matter what you do, if you're authentic, you're going to
Hmm.
do it the way that you do it. And that's how you attract that specific target audience that wants to, follow you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You're right on that.
Those are great tips. Thank you.
All right,
So
good,
so
good, good.
let's talk about PR, right?
Okay, yes.
Because this is very interesting to me. So my background is marketing, which to me it includes PR, but people have been coming to me lately talking about I need PR, right? Like
Okay, yes.
specifically. And I think the reason is because of social media. Like you need like marketing, the best form of marketing has always been word of mouth. You need other
Yes.
people talking about you, right? And so I think
Yes.
that people are realizing like I need to get in these publications. I need to get in these newsletters. I need to get, other people talking about me. So PR is important. I'm glad people are kind of realizing that. So tell me your thoughts as far as like what is different from how is PR different than marketing?
Well, you have to start off with knowing the difference between earned media and paid media. So with marketing, a lot of that is what we would call paid media because often you're paying for commercials, you're paying for ads in a newspaper, you're boosting your social media posts. And all those things are important because people do need to see you and hear you and know about you. So paid media is you're focused on how do I get this message across about my business or my brand, or the nonprofit or cause. But earned media is when people are coming to you and they want to tell your story. And that's what's amazing about media relations or public relations. Because when you're approaching journalists and media outlets, you're pitching a story to them, and hopefully they're getting excited enough that they want to share it. So you've earned that media. You didn't pay the newspaper to write that story about you, right? Now you pitched them, but if they wrote the article, that's earned, and that's why it's exciting because we all know, well, most of media should be something that's earned. It shouldn't be paid for. If you're paying for media, normally they should mention somewhere in the article. They'll call it advertorial instead of editorial.
Hmm.
Like an advertorial is one term, or they might even have somewhere in small print. You open up Essence magazine and there's an article about Hennessy. I don't know why it's the blackest thing that came to my mind. There's an article about Newports. No,
No,
well,
not
Jet
anymore.
magazine was good for that back in the day. Jet
Yeah.
magazine was good for that. But it's an article about a brand, and they might mention somewhere in small print, this was a paid article. But normally, majority of articles are earned, and that's why it's an exciting thing because your story is being told and it's authentic. This journalist
Right.
is writing about you, or this news reporter is interviewing you. Like even this right here, this interview series, this is earned. So the fact that you're asking me questions, allowing me to speak about my experience and my brand is very important.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for clarifying that. So now that we
Yeah.
know what PR is, I want to talk about the media mentorship ebook that you have out.
Oh
So I'm
yes,
just I'm
yes,
just going to read what is inside, not everything that's inside because there's a lot in there, but
yes.
just the highlights. So you talk about identifying your target media outlets, building relationships with journalists,
Hmm.
creating a compelling press release, so something that's newsworthy because a lot of people try to do press releases and they don't get coverage, but there's a reason why. Um, Using social media to your advantage, offering exclusive content, and following up, right? And so this book is, or the ebook is packed with information, like a lot of information.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Which I think is, I mean, it's amazing because a lot of people are asking for this type of information. How do I do this? And this book just kind of like outlines everything that you need to do and how to do it.
yes.
So what gave you the idea to write this book?
All right. Well, to keep real with you, I feel like your voice, my company, I feel like we're trying our best to be very affordable. Part of our mission has always been to provide the same tools to smaller organizations and companies that their bigger counterparts have at a rate that they can afford. But sometimes, a lot of small companies are bootstrapping, as we know, we've been through it, and they don't have a lot of money to spend on these kind of things. So I was like, okay, I've gotten as low as I can on my prices that where we still have to, we have things we have to pay for. But maybe if I give this information in a nugget, people will go ahead and jump on it. And it's always good to give stuff for free, and I try to give as much as I can. But sometimes making people pay something, even if it's as small as $10, I think people take it a little more seriously. So I was like, I think a cool little ebook could be helpful. So if I say, hey, a press release costs this amount, or me helping you with an event costs this amount to get you out there, and you're like, oh, that's not our budget. Hey, grab this ebook. You can learn a lot on your own. And I'm always open. Like you want to DM me, ask me a couple questions. That's not a problem. And eventually, as you make more and more revenue, maybe you'll come back and hire someone like me or a company like mine to actually do the heavy lifting for you. I also think the book is helpful for businesses because if you do hire your voice or a PR firm, you actually have an idea of what they should be doing for you, which is always helpful.
Yeah, that's so true. It is kind of like it's because we work with like, entrepreneurs and founders, like smaller, organizations, or we have a passion for that. So it is hard when you're like, hey, this is kind of what I need to charge you to feed, to keep my business, but if this is a way that you can actually touch people and you can actually help people. And some people, I mean, like they have to do it themselves, and that's fine. I mean, whether it's a website or anything else, like that's absolutely fine. So I'm glad that you acknowledge that. And it's always like I feel like with you, it's always the spirit of giving.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right?
Yeah,
Like
I
it's
appreciate
like,
that.
how do I contribute? How do I start the conversation? And you are definitely a storyteller, right? But yeah, it's always about like, how do I help people? You know?
Yeah, I mean, and I appreciate that. And that definitely is a big part of how I even started. Even with real estate, we our goal was always to help people get their first home buyers. Is a lot of things we focused on, and kind of that's kind of how it came up in entrepreneurship was to help people, and then also kind of having like that. I don't want to say civil rights background. I didn't march with anybody, but I mean just kind of like pledging
You
alpha
did,
and
your ancestors did.
my ancestors,
No.
pledging alpha and kind of like that part of like when I was an undergrad, we always were very strong on like my mentors were always very strong on trying to help others as much as possible. So I feel like entrepreneurship, that's something that we can provide that. But there's nothing wrong with us getting paid to while we're helping people. I do want to point
Absolutely.
that out. We all got the right to eat. And I'm like, listen, everybody should be out here. But if you can get paid and help others, come on, that's a win-win.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's a huge tip for entrepreneurs too, is that you have something valuable.
Mm,
You should be able to feed your family and yourself with that valuable thing that you have, so
yeah.
package it up and give it, but
Package it up and
it's
give it. Yep.
definitely worth paying for. And like I like what you said about it's great to give things for free, but people value it more when they have to pay for it. And that's
Yep.
just human nature, right? Because I tell people all the time, marketing, a lot of it is about price. Like you don't want to discount yourself too much because people just aren't going to value it. And you'll see more people want it because they know the value of it because of the price that you offer for it.
It's funny you say that because I even think you're right. The recently we put a proposal in for a large website, and I thought in my mind like I was like, wow, we're actually asking for a lot. But then I realized when I did the research after I sent it, we didn't ask for enough, and they probably was like, oh, these crackhead prices, we're not messing with them. They're not
Right.
ready. Like sometimes you gotta go a little, entrepreneurs, sometimes you gotta charge, you gotta get over that fear of charging because people actually respect you more when you actually charge. You know what I'm saying? They're like, what are you gonna give this to me for nothing? Are you really good at this?
Right. And the interesting thing is, and I know we've all heard this before, is that the lower price that you charge, the more headache it typically is. The more you charge, the less of a headache it is because people, and it's all goes to how people value you. So if I think you're an expert, I'm gonna pay you to do it and I'm gonna give you whatever money you ask for. I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
ask any questions because
Yep.
I understand your value. Versus if I don't understand your value and I'm giving you a little bit, then I'm going to keep asking you questions because I never understood your value in the beginning.
Yep. Yo, that's oh my goodness, that's a great one. Yeah, you're 100% right. When you charge more, it is less of a headache.
There you have it.
You
So
know?
one of the things we talked about authenticity, and one of the things that I like about your ebook, it is written in like I feel like Jason is talking to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So, can you talk about that though? Because a lot of people that are entrepreneurs, like they get into entrepreneurship and they feel like, oh, I have to wear this or I have to talk like this. I have to because I have this certain clientele. Like, they sort of change themselves so
yeah.
that they can fit into this box or they feel like they have to get clients. Like, can you talk about authenticity? Because I feel like you've always been authentic, but
Well, thank
can
you.
you
I've
talk
tried.
about that?
Yes. Well, yeah. Well, first there was another draft that was a little bit more. Oh, I mean, I feel they're both professional, but just a little more square. What I say square, like it just didn't have that same flavor. And I just
Boring.
went back to it. Boring.
No.
It was boring. Yeah, it was kind of boring. I was like, you know what? When I have meetings, um, I've always had the courage to be more myself. Like like speaking engagements, for example. When I do speaking engagements, I talk like I talk to my peoples, right? So I'm like, I think this book should be the same way. And I think another inspiration, and people say it all the time, but Gary Vee, for example, like, look, he
Mm,
talks as who he is. And even though people have problems with his cursing, that's how he talks. I don't curse that much, even just normally, so I don't have to throw the cursing in. But me and Gary Vee are both from Jersey, so some of that Jersey is going to come out. And that's one of the things that initially I did try to hide. But as I grew as an entrepreneur and my brand grew, I said, you know what, that's part of what people like about doing business
mm,
with me is that I'm friendly, I'm open, but I also have a Jersey, I have a Jersey drive and a little bit of aggression. Not aggression, but just kind of, just kind of, I'm gonna say aggression. That is, I'm a little aggressive the way that I talk, but it's all love, and I think people feel that. So I said, let's just write the book like that. Let's just say, yo, it's gonna be some yo's in the book. If you get the book, it's gonna be some yo's. It's gonna be some let's get it, and that's how I feel. I'm excited about the book, so I wanted the people to feel that excitement, and I'm glad you peeped it when you read
yeah. And I just to touch on that aggression part, because I think that
it.
people value, like if you are an expert, you sometimes need to be aggressive, right? Because you
Yeah.
need to tell the people, or people don't want you to say, "Oh, that was a great idea," da, 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 and you just go do it. Like they want to say, "No, no, 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 that's not going to work. You need to do, this." So I think people appreciate that authenticity, and they appreciate that a little bit of aggression, like, "Oh, okay, okay, maybe I should listen to him." So yeah.
Well, that aggression, like me and my girlfriend been watching a lot of those like restaurant stores, like reality shows like Restaurant Impossible or Gordon Ramsay, where he goes in and helps a business. One, because we both are entrepreneurs, so we like seeing the cost analysis and the marketing. But like
Mm.
all those guys, Tafford on Bar Rescue, like they're aggressive. And when they come in there, they are strong and they're throwing plates and they like, this is crazy. But by the end, the business owners are like, oh, I see it now. So sometimes that aggression is necessary. Like I have a nicer approach just
I
naturally
didn't
than
say
that.
nothing about throwing plates.
Yeah, I ain't gonna throw no plates at you, but
Okay.
I'm just saying I just see some of that's for TV. I mean, obviously that's for TV. I'm sure when they do it in real life as consultants, they're probably not that exaggerated. But it's still a point is that if you know and you're the expert and you want people to listen, sometimes you gotta be like, yo, listen to me for real. I got you. Especially if
Right.
you hired me. Like even with websites, sometimes I had to do that recently. Like uh amazing client, beautiful website, but some of the things they wanted just did not work. I'm like, you want stuff from AOL, they want Flash. I'm like, websites are minimalistic now. People want to get right to the point with calls to action. They weren't trying to hear me, so I had to get a little like, yo, listen, you hired me. I got this.
Right. And that goes because you care about the
Yes.
results, you care about the customer. Like you don't want to do something, like anyone good that is consulting you, they're not going to do something just to get paid. They're going to do something because it's going to make an impact in your business.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. And sometimes that's where it comes when it's just like with young people in your family, you love them, right? So when you get aggressive with your children or your nieces and nephews, that's all love right there. You like, nah, listen to me. So I want people that I do business with to, have that same success. I want them to be excited with me. So come on, let's get
Okay. Yes. Let's get it. So
it.
tell me some aggressive points from the media mentorship. Like what are okay, I don't want to give away all the secrets or anything, but maybe just tell us a little bit more detail about what's in the book.
Well, one thing that I talk about in the book a lot, and this is something I have to get aggressive about, is like give we talked about it actually earlier. Give information about your field. Like give information, share it on your social media. Don't even be afraid to share someone else's blog or someone else's tweet or post. Excuse me. I keep saying that. Twitter. X formerly known as Twitter. But share information because a lot of times when journalists and media outlets are looking for, they okay, so when you're writing an article, you have to show proof of what you're saying. Most news is supposed to be non-biased, right? You can't really give your opinion, and you need facts. So a lot of times, the journalists, if they're trying to prove a point, if they can get a quote from an expert, that can drive home the point of the story. So a lot of times, they will be online looking for experts. So if you sell insurance, for example, right, and you have some really good programs out there, share all the information about why you need insurance. And a journalist who's writing an article about life insurance may come to you and say, I need a quote from you. Now, when you're ready to have an article about your third insurance office opening in Middle Tennessee, now he owes you a favor. So I'm saying that people share, like, it's also good just for getting clients and customers. People gravitate towards those who share a lot of information, right? You become the authority in your space. So that's one tip that I think works on both ways, to get you media relations and to help you grow clientele. And another thing is, we talk a lot about following journalists, like follow them on these social platforms and repost them, comment them, like them. When I worked at the Tennessee Tribune, and I did articles, we posted stuff. I had a video show called Take 10 on Tuesdays. I used to interview people from all over Nashville. And the ones that got to the front of the lines were the ones that commented on other videos or shared or reposted stuff that I posted. You know what I'm saying? So develop a relationship with people. That's important. That's in the book as well.
Wow. Okay. Relationships and
Yes.
content. I mean, that's enough. We can just stop recording right here. Like if
That's enough right
everybody
there.
pause the
Yeah.
video and go do what Jason said
Right now. Yeah. Go ahead and do
right now,
that.
it'll be worth it for sure. Okay. What
Definitely.
another thing that I wanted to talk to you about, because you talk about this all the time, and so do I, artificial intelligence.
Oh yeah, AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So in the
so
book,
in
go ahead.
just in as it relates to entrepreneurship
Well, I'm
and
glad
like
you. I mean,
your business. Yeah.
you asking. I mean, you were on the AI before anyone that I can think of. I mean, yeah. So you definitely was in that whole space that all kind of comes together, from the metaverse, the NFTs, and the AI. And you were throwing events about that, a couple years ago. So but a lot of people in your audience may still not know how important these tools are going to be in our lives. And if you don't jump on them now, you're going to be left behind, because the digital divide is going to be serious. It's already serious. Um, I think about how many people I know do everything only on their phones because they can't afford a laptop. But if you're doing real business, you need a laptop or desktop to really do some serious design and serious high level work. But that's a digital divide. But to answer your question, AI to me, I mean, I keep it real with a lot of people. I use ChatGPT a lot. Um, Now, I'm great at, nothing like about to toot my own horn, but I'm good at creating content. So I don't need chat for that, right? I'm going to
Yeah.
write and come up with some great posts. I'm going to write some great stuff that people can relate to. But when it comes to a lot of the heavy lifting, or even getting my ideas together, like, chat is my best friend. Like, even with this book, when I was trying to get the ideas of what chapters and what do I want to cover, I had a conversation with Chat, and I'm like, this is all my expertise. Chat knows everything about me. I have the paid $20 a month, which everybody should get. So Chat, in the paid version, you can give it a lot of information about who you are. So I don't have to like regurgitate everything about me. Chat already knows the name of my business, what I do. So I'm like, look, this is what I want. These are my ideas. Can you kind of help me understand where should I put the chapters and things of that nature? And I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, that heavy lifting, uh, I say
Hmm.
it's nothing wrong with that. Now, I don't believe in chat writing a whole script. I understand why the writers are on strike. I don't think you should have AI just write a whole screenplay for you. That's crazy. But is it going to happen? Probably is. So
Yeah.
we,
So I like the idea of Chat GPT filling in the blanks. Like there's
yeah,
something that you may need, and Chat GPT is going to fill in that blank for you. Or even like I feel like entrepreneurship can get so lonely sometimes. Like you're sitting in a room by yourself trying to think of
yeah,
ideas. And I work in marketing. Marketing is always about brainstorming. It's about
yep,
having more than one person to come up with ideas. Like that's how you don't brain I mean, you can brainstorm by yourself, but it's even more effective when you do it with somebody else. So ChatGPT can serve to help you to jog up some creative
Yes.
ideas and take things to the next level.
Yes.
Now, for me personally, about writing copy, I write copy because I've been in marketing for over 20 years. And I think I asked ChatGPT to do a sales page, right, for a website.
Mm,
And the copy that I wrote, I just to test it out. The copy that I wrote, I was like, that sounds like something I would write. Wait a minute.
mm.
So
Yeah.
it's
It
good
knows your
for
voice
that.
though. It knows
Yeah,
your voice
well,
though.
yeah, it can know your voice too. And the interesting thing for me, entrepreneurship, you never have enough time to do the things that you could do.
Yes.
Like your to-do list is so long. And for me, I'm a single mom. I got kids. Like after a long day of meetings, I'm tired, but I still
Yeah.
need to build this website or I still need to do this and that. So I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
ChatGPT, like I
Yeah.
can't use my brain anymore today, but and then you always, I mean, you do have to like check over it. It's not going to be exact. Now the paid version though, like I see your post about the paid version and it being able to customize to what exactly you want. So I think that is worth it because at times you will get frustrated with the non-paid version.
Yeah, you get yeah. But there's also a talent and a skill, and people should understand that there are jobs that are already opening in using AI, particularly chat, because that's what I use. But a lot of these other AIs are kind of built off chat anyway. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but the way you prompt it, so because someone could say, "Well, why do I need you if I could just have chat write my sales copy?" You even in that, they don't know what to tell. Like you could still tell chat what you need and what you want. And you can read it and say, no, actually, and a person just going in and
Mm-hmm.
say, like, you can't just say, hey, chat, write me a press release.
Right.
Like, it's
No.
going to sound awful. So, because you don't even know what you're looking for, so understanding how to prompt it is very important. I'll tell you what else I love it for though. That stuff, like you said, after a long day and I don't want to think, like the other day I went in there and I said, these are like 5 ingredients I have in the fridge. What are some
Uh,
meals I could make? Chat came up with like 5 different ideas, fast. You know what I'm saying? So that now my brain, because my brain's already fizzled. So that's one less thing. That's less. You know, we only have so much bandwidth. Basically, we're like computers. We only have so much bandwidth and memory. So if chat can help me out with something small like that, now there's some more morality to it. Some people feel like machines are going to take over everything. I don't agree with that. I feel like it's a part of life. We can use it. We just have to make sure that we're smart with how we use it.
Yeah, it's a tool. And like you said in the beginning when we first started talking about this, like you don't want to get left behind. You know, you want to be able to at least know what it is, know how to use it because what's going to happen, work, no matter whether you're working with somebody or you're working for yourself, is about productivity, right?
Mm,
And so if you can use AI to help you to be more productive, like those are the people that are going to get hired, or get to
yep.
that next level or are going to excel in their entrepreneurship journey because they figured out how to use these tools to help to fill in the blanks to where they need to go.
Well, there were entrepreneurs in 98, 99 that did not want to get websites. And
Oh,
they did not
yeah. I
want to use the
remember those
internet.
days. They're still
Yep.
around.
There's still some. I mean, I still meet some people. They're like, I'm gonna see how far the yellow pages are gonna take me.
Okay. So let's just briefly talk about that for a minute. So there are people that just use Yelp. I work with a lot of artists. So they're like, I just have Instagram and that's it.
Yeah.
Talk about just for a second, one more time. Let's reiterate this point. Why do people need a website?
Look. Yeah, yeah. Why do you need a website? One, you don't own Instagram. You don't own Snapchat or TikTok. They have full control. They can change the rules. They can block you. They can charge you. They have control of the algorithm. So that's one thing you don't have it. Now we can do a lot of research and figure out how to do the best of the algorithm. They can still change it. Two, the popularity of social media changes. I always call social media a moving target, meaning what's popular today may not be popular tomorrow. We could joke around about MySpace, but one day MySpace was the hottest social media in the world. You know, Facebook was once the hottest social media in the world. There were people that when Facebook popularity dropped who never got a website have lost untold amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Or when Facebook started charging. At one time, you used to be able to post on Facebook. Everybody who liked your page saw it. Now 1% maybe sees it without you paying. And even when you pay, you still got to figure out how to use all those keywords. But with your website, you own it. It's yours. You're in control. You can post what you want. And I'm a fan of social media. I love social media, but all social media should be trying to get people to your website where you are the master of that domain. You need a website also because when someone's searching for your products, Instagram is millions and millions of users, but if you do your SEO right, you can show up higher in those Google rankings. So just depending on social media to me is a huge mistake. I also personally, as far as e-commerce, I don't like shopping on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. I don't know if that's because I'm a Gen Xer. Some younger people might. I'm not knocking if that's your way, but I think an e-commerce site, once again, because you own it, you have a lot more control. You're not stuck in this one system. And if Instagram's not popular and that's where everybody bought your stuff, where are they going to buy your stuff at now?
Right. That's so true. And it's also about that authenticity too. Or yeah, that I know that I'm buying from you, not from some random scammer
Yeah.
on another website or whatever that is. I mean, that's why people will shop one place but they'll buy it from Amazon or they'll buy it from directly from the website or something like that because
Listen,
it's about that trust.
listen. Amazon, you're right. That's a great point. They will go right on Amazon instead of your Instagram.
Yep. Very true. So, okay, this has been so great. This has been a great conversation. I could probably talk to you all day about this
Yeah, I
stuff
appreciate it. I
for
appreciate it.
sure.
I'll come back on anytime. I appreciate it. It's a good conversation. I
Yeah,
did want to
we'll
say
uh-huh.
before you let me go, for your listeners, if they buy the book, I actually
Mhm.
made a discount code. It's the word equal, all lowercase,
Okay.
equal, EQUAL, 50% off. And they can find the book at payhip.com/the J Luntz Report. Like the J Luntz Report down there where my name is.
Okay. Nice, nice. And we'll put the link in the notes to
Okay.
other places that people can find you, Jason.
So they can find me online across the board, all social media at the J Luntz Report, TheJLuntz Report. And that's all the way from Pinterest to Instagram and TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. You can find me. You can also find us at yourvoice.com, URVOYCE.com. And we're online. If you have any questions or ever want to just chat about entrepreneurship, web design, social media, or public relations, just hit me up. I'm always available.
Cool. Very cool. And you can also find Jason at the hottest events in Nashville if
We're
you
going to be
don't know.
out there. We're going to be in these streets of Nashville. Yeah,
Well,
that's
it's getting kind
facts.
of cold, so I don't know, but
Yeah. You might see us in the spring.
yeah. But thanks so much, Jason. Just wanted to mention I like your affirmation board behind you. Are those your affirmations?
Oh, no,
King
it's
Kong ain't
actually,
got nothing on me. What is
yes,
it?
black movie quotes.
No, I love it though. I love
It's
it. Well,
affirmation. You're right. King
yeah,
Kong, nothing on me. That's funny.
affirmations. We got to
I'm
talk about
sticking
that
with that.
next time.
Next time,
Mindset,
affirmation. Mindset.
affirmations.
Yes.
All
Now, I appreciate it, though.
right.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks.